but that it is moving forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Like we said, there's not a whole lot of further information that we can at this point in time. We'll open it up for some questions, but please keep in mind there are a lot of things we cannot disclose at this time.
Just starting with Officer Lopez, how many children does he have?
To my knowledge, he has one.
One child. Do you know how old the child is?
I do not.
Anyone here who can just, who knew Officer Lopez, who can maybe speak maybe just about who he is? Understand.
Yeah.
What was the traffic stop for originally?
That is still under investigation on what exactly that traffic stop was for. It was right in the downtown area of Whiteriver, near the junction of State Route 73 and East Fork Road.
The weapon involved, was that the suspect's weapon, or was that the officer's weapon?
That can't discuss that at this time. I'm sorry.
Did he have can you say whether or not the suspect had his own weapon at the scene?
I cannot.
Okay. Just talk to me about, you called it a rolling gun battle. I've never heard that phrase before. That sounds like an incredibly dangerous situation for everybody involved there. Does that speak to the urgency to get this person? An officer was clearly killed. I mean, you weren't just going to let him get away. It sounds like this was very important to make sure he was captured. So
the officers that were pursuing the suspect, who was driving a marked police vehicle, started receiving gunfire during the pursuit, and they were firing back. There's no possible way to try to outline the chaotic event that this was. Like I said, they're in a very rural, primitive area. A lot of dust in the air, all the flashing lights. Very, very chaotic. Basically the suspect was shooting back at the officers. They were returning fire during this pursuit.
Were there any other officers that were injured during all of this?
No.
Was the rolling gun battle when the second officer was injured, or was that after the vehicles had stopped?
It was after the suspect vehicle in the police car had crashed, and there was an exchange of gunfire at that point. That's when the second officer was injured.
You said it was a marked vehicle. Was it just one car that was chasing?
No, there was multiple White Mountain Apache vehicles chasing the vehicle, yes.
I know you have spoken to it, but maybe just kind of big picture case scenario, right?
It'd be very, very difficult to try to imagine and build this scenario for a training program. It is not, as I was getting information of it last night, something that is not even fathomable. As I've talked to my colleagues here in this room, none of us have seen anything of this nature. I can't even imagine I can't imagine what those officers were going through during this event.
Is this I mean, you say you can't build a training scenario off this. Is this a situation where you're going to look back on this and try to learn as much as you can on the choices that were made?
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I've heard several times you've lost officers in recent years. I'm sure the community is taking this role. Speak about how the community is doing.
Yes, this region has been hit very, very hard over the last few years. It is absolutely devastating, not only to the law enforcement community, the public safety community, but also our citizens. We have a very, very good relationship with our citizens in this region of the state. We are all very, very good community partners. And so already the outreach from the public is just absolutely heartwarming and overwhelming. And we appreciate that support. And like the chairman and the special agent said, is we lost somebody that has dedicated their life to serving this community, and it's not an easy job.
Can you tell us about Kevin Nachos? Is this someone that officers have had a relationship with before? Has he had a problem in the area?
He is known to the White Mountain Apache Police Department. Other than that, I'm not going to speak any further of that individual.
Has he faced charges before?
I'm not going to comment on that.
And you said the other officer was Lonnie Thompson. Can you give us an update on how they're doing?
He went in, he's being treated in Phoenix. I do not have a current up-to-date status on that, but he's in a Phoenix area hospital. The injuries are not considered to be life-threatening, but they could certainly be debilitating.
In a unique situation like this, I'm not sure if the police, if they have body cams, or is this something where you're going to be looking for surveillance video in the area to try to piece together everything that happened?
Like I said, this started, transitioned through, and ended in very, very primitive areas. Certainly, part of the investigation will be seeking that type of evidence or that type of information, but I do not anticipate that there's going to be much available.
And again, I know a lot of this, I mean, this has just happened, so I know that there's not a lot of details you can provide. Can you give me an estimate on how many shots were exchanged between the officers chasing and him driving? Was this just one or two shots that were fired, or was this was a long stretch? Was this ongoing the entire time?
It was ongoing, but an estimation of how many shots were fired, I absolutely cannot, I couldn't estimate that. So.
Was Officer Lopez alone on the initial traffic stop?
I believe so, yes. All right, if there's no further questions, we'll appreciate everybody coming and participating in this with us, and we appreciate your support and the continued prayers for the White Mountain Apache Police Department.
For updates, we'll be reaching out to FBI, is that correct?
Correct. Thank you.
Thank you.